How's everybody doing? Tuesday Thoughts, week number 46. Just about through a year of these. How about that? All right. So our quote for the week, first one comes from Adlai Stevenson. You may recognize him from the executive branch of the United States and some history stuff. Right? Anyway, his quote is, "It's hard to lead a cavalry charge if you think you look funny on a horse." So a couple things from that. One is there is a perceived position that leaders should be in. And in the cavalry, at that time, it was the person who was on the horse and leading that charge for that. Okay, so first of all, if you're going to be a leader, you've got to be sometimes in that position that people think that you need to be. But if you're uncomfortable in that position, you're not going to do well in the leadership role. And the people following you aren't going to be comfortable following you either, because they're going to see you're uncomfortable. They're going to lack confidence in you. So as you start to develop your leadership role in an organization, or if you're a teacher in front of the classroom, as you develop your styles, then you need to understand, you got to figure out how you're comfortable doing that. I can tell you from personal experience, coming out of my student teaching, I had no self-confidence at all. And it's just a product of what was going on in there and some things, and just the way that teaching was taught at the time, and it just wasn't my style. And it took me several years to figure out what that would be and how I wanted to be and act and react to things. And once I figured that out, I became much more comfortable in front of the classroom and became more successful in that, as far as being able to get the students' attention, getting the ideas across, and things with that. So I had to figure out how to be comfortable on the horse that I needed to be on as far as a teacher goes. Okay? Now, our second quote for the week: "Are you the type of person that you would want to spend time with?" And I see a lot of people that are just angry all the time, or they're sad all the time, or whatever that, these extremes of emotions, and they're there all the time. And it's exhausting to watch, but I can't imagine wanting to be around someone that's like that all the time. So, are you someone who is optimistic and you're looking out for things? Are you being creative, or whatever that? Or are you somebody who's quieter in there? Whatever that personality that you have, if it's not somebody that you would want, like, you look back at yourself and go, man, I don't want to hang out with somebody like that, then maybe it shouldn't be a surprise that nobody wants to hang out with you. So make sure you have a good, honest self-reflection with yourself and figure out how it is that you're acting and reacting to things, and how other people might perceive that, because it's how you perceive others in those things. All right, so our random fact for the week, just kind of a cool random fact. With there, the silverback gorilla can actually lift up to 10 times its body weight on average, which means it can lift about 1,800 pounds. That's a lot. That's according to the Guinness Book of World Record. So it makes them one of the strongest living animals, the species on Earth. So there's a lot of reasons that people fear them because of their strength and their size. And that's an intimidating thing. But you have to also recognize that they only use their strength when they feel threatened. So they have a presence, but only apply it when they need to. All right. And our random word for the week here is something that, state convention's coming up here real soon for Indiana FFA. I know other states have already had theirs or getting ready to have theirs coming up real soon. But the random word for this week is whiffler. Sounds like it's, wiffle ball type of thing, but it's not. Whiffler actually is the name for a person that walks in front of you in a crowd. So in the hallways, during the passing periods, at state convention, at national convention, we see a lot of whifflers. Okay? Very different from wafflers, but we see a lot of whifflers. So that's the Tuesday Thoughts for this week. Hope you're having a great week. Talk to you next time.